Well, that was a bit of a roller coaster. Really enjoying it. Sun's come out. Everything's on pace. Yeah. Now I've entered the pain cave. We're 35 miles in now and I'm starting to feel sick when I run. So just trying to run for like 100 steps every now and again. What I've realised on this ultra marathon is I'm not calling it an ultra. It is a very emotional thing to do, putting your body through this and your mind through this. You probably can't see me, but I've had a bit of a second wind after those chips. Definitely running a little bit stronger. Well, that's 16-mile mark and I'm struggling to put one foot in front of the other now. I literally just want it to be over.
Well done, Phil! Yes! Well done!
It's been a week since the Thames Path 100k and this is my first run after that event. Thought I'd do a recap video. I jotted down a few questions on my iPhone that I thought that runners or people that watch the video would be interested in knowing the answers to. First of all though, most importantly, thanks everybody for watching that video. Everybody that's clicked on that subscribe button, thanks very much, I appreciate it. I hope you stick around, watch my journey and trail running adventures, wherever that may take me in the future. Will it be back on the Thames Path? Let's dive into those questions, find out. Why did I pick the Thames Path in the first place? Why out of all the 100k ultra marathon races in Britain did I pick the Thames Path? As you can see from where I'm running today, where I live, it's pretty flat. I've heard it's a very good idea to run races in the terrain that you're used to training on. So how did my feet hold up? I decided before I started that I'd use some rock tape. I got a few, areas on my feet that we all do that are prone to blisters or prone to a little bit of pain or whatever. Hard skin calluses on the outside of my big toes. They did okay. I could feel them in the race. And what I noticed what they did was created a little bit more friction and I got a couple of blood blisters in the areas of where I put the tape on. Now that's probably me not putting the tape on properly, to be honest. I would probably consider doing Compede next time, just for a little bit of softness in that area, or more of a long-term fix is getting my flipping calluses sorted out on my feet, making that skin a bit more softer. We've all got different shaped feet, we've all got different issues, but I didn't get any new blisters, I didn't get any other areas of problems on my feet. I used the hilly toe socks that I've done a review on before on my channel, and I changed them about 3 times. Did you get any chafing? No, I didn't get any chafing at all, which is great. I wore underwear on the day. I've been wearing them now for quite a while for all my trail runs. Can't recommend them enough. I wear the merino wool ones. I found they are better than the normal standard sort of blue underwear for me. I mean, they do run quite hot. I always get like a sort of sweat patch in my crotch, but at least that's the sweat coming away from my body, right? It's not actually building up there. I used squirrel nut butter in some extra areas as well. And so yeah, no problems at all across the shoulders. The Harrier Kinder race vest that I wore didn't give me any problems at all. So overall, did you make the right kit selection, do you think? This is a bit weird answering myself, but it's the only way I could think about doing this video. Yeah, the kit that I chose to wear, like I said earlier, the hilly toe socks. I wore Kalanji running shirt. I wore 2 Kalanji running tops, and I wore Kalanji running shorts. All really comfy. I didn't mention what shoes I wore when I was out on my run earlier. I wore the Ultra Olympus 4s. They are super cushioned, they are foot-shaped shoes. I've been doing all my training in them and they were perfect for all the different surfaces and the terrains I was on. Right, back to the video. So on the Thames Path Challenge 100k, you get the option of having a kit bag that you drop off at the start, and then you can pick it up at the halfway point of 50k, and then they will take it on for you from the halfway stage to the end. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make a lot of use out of that. I wore one outfit in the morning, when I started, and my decision was to change that whole outfit at halfway at 50k. So I had a completely new, fresh socks, fresh underwear, fresh shorts, fresh top, even fresh hat. Changed the hat to this one. At the halfway mark, I got my bag, I picked it out, and then I looked for a place to get changed, and there was a little changing area, and I shuffled into this changing area, which was like a size of a 4-man tent. There was 3 men in it already. Went into the corner, got all my stuff out my bag, put my stuff on, took out my additional bits of food, which is the good thing about the halfway point drop bag, is not having to carry all your food if you want your own stuff. And then I got back to the start line, and I'd forgotten to change the spare battery I got for my camera here, and the spare microphone. Overall, it took about an hour, 65 minutes to do 2 miles across that halfway point. Wasted so much time. I didn't need to change all of my kit. All I needed to change was my t-shirt and maybe take a spare pair of socks if I needed them. You know, I did it because I made the decision beforehand that it would be a good mental reset. That'll be like 2 separate races in one. But in hindsight, that wasted me a lot of time on the run, and I could have got in about an hour earlier than I did, to be fair. How did the eating and drinking go? I had a simple race plan. Every time a mile beeped on my watch, I'd take a good long sip of one of my water bottles. I had 2 soft 500ml water bottles. In one side I had Tailwind, in the other I had plain water. I also had some Cliff shot blocks, and first half of the race I was eating bananas, and that all went really well up until the time that I'm used to running at, right, which is like 2 or 3 or 4 hours. And that's what I've practiced doing. I've practiced with all that kit, I've practiced with the Tailwind, the shot blocks, the bananas, and so in training it all worked really well. The reality is, when you're out on an ultramarathon for 12, 13, 14, 15 hours, your body is going to burn a hell of a lot more calories than you're used to. And I needed to put in more calories that I wasn't used to putting inside my body. And I certainly started to flag because of it. I got into the 78k checkpoint feeling absolutely rough. There was food there. They had loads of hot and cold options. I didn't want anything to eat, but I forced myself to go and get something. I got some potato wedges and these chicken burrito wrap things, right? I'll tell you what, once I started eating the chips, I was like, oh, they're working quite well actually. I quite like them. So I ate all the potato wedges at that checkpoint, and lo and behold, I started feeling better about half an hour later after that, putting the food in, and I could actually run more stronger and for longer. Did you get any injuries? No injuries at all. Didn't go over my ankle, didn't pull any muscles or have any major problems with blisters. There was a few times in the race where I very nearly had cramp in my hamstrings and in my quads. I managed to stretch out my hamstrings a few times and they appreciated it. But when I tried to stretch my quad, like a simple quad stretch, you know, like literally, like, you know, quad stretch, the hamstring was like, no, I'm going to snap if you do that. And I tried to do it, it just wouldn't let me. Obviously, the first 48 hours after the event feels like you're never going to walk again. Feels like you've sort of got aches and pains all over the whole of your body. But if you keep moving around, you keep getting the food in, you keep getting the drink in, then you'll be absolutely fine. And I was, and I knew I was going to be fine. Are you happy with your finish time? No, I'm not. I'm not happy with it. I didn't give myself a time goal purposely, to not let my mind on the day worry about it, to not let me push my body too much, because I've never run that distance before, right? Never been 63 miles before, so I don't really have anything to compare it with. So I shouldn't be too harsh, I shouldn't be too critical. But the time that I wasted changing all my kit, changing my battery, changing the microphone, sitting around feeling sorry for myself, it was about an hour and a half. I could have beat Mark Lewis. All right. He got in at 15 hours. I got in around about 15 hours 30 something. I never saw him go past me, but he got past me. I was in a bad area, bad place in the last few miles, and so he obviously just floated past me somehow. I mean, it's maybe just a mind thing, trying to G me on, trying to make me run, trying to keep me moving forward. And we need these little motivations. It helped me do that 200 running, 200 step running, 200 step walking thing. So from that point of view, the race tactics work quite well. But I know we all say this, I spent too much time in the aid stations faffing around with kit and not eating food. So would you run the event again, Phil? No, I've done it. I've got the t-shirt, quite literally, got the medal, made it to the finish line, did what I wanted to do. The last few miles on that event are pretty miserable. It might have been better if they was in the daytime, and it might be better if you do it over 2 days. So don't let me put you off doing the event. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wouldn't change it apart from the things that I did. Lovely scenery, great navigation, everything, can't fault it. It doesn't make me want to do it again and beat my time or anything. I've done that, I've ticked the box, on to the next thing. So what's next? I've got big plans for next year. I want to do some multi-day events, build up a few 2 or 3 day events to build up to one long event over 7 days next year, maybe next summer, where I'm going to run the length of Wales on the Thames Path. Just doing it for the adventure. I'm doing it over 7 days, and I'm going to be in a VW camper van at 7 different campsites. My wife's going to support me again. She was awesome at the Thames Path. Thank you, Chanel. Not that she'll watch this video. She never watches my videos. So to build up to that, do a couple more ultras. I've got some product reviews on the way. I've got these shoes on here. Yeah, Innovate Park Claw 260 knit. I've got a review well overdue for these. I want to do a review on this DJI mic here. What it's good for runners like me. It's been great so far. I think it really helped at the race last week. So yeah, more gear reviews coming, more ultramarathon races, more training ideas. And so I hope you can stick around and share the journey and the adventure with me. If you haven't done so already, please do consider joining this tribe of runners on YouTube that I'm trying to build. Click that like button on the video, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care for now.